Welcome back to Textures by Tamara. I have a new look for you called MACtacular, featuring a hair tutorial. And please remove your glasses before sitting underneath the steamer. I'm into hair care first, so I've incorporated a steam treatment into my hair care regimen and also to my clients as well. I have to warn you, using a steamer is like bringing a sauna to your head, so just be prepared. But anything worth having comes with a sacrifice. And if you feel that you're a little sensitive, just make sure you put the steamer on low. The good part is steamers stimulate the blood circulation, which promotes hair growth. It refreshes and rejuvenates. It opens up the cuticle layer so that your conditioner can actually penetrate your cuticle layer, which in turn makes your hair more manageable and easier to detangle. I've chose to do my makeup underneath the steamer because I want to do the same thing that I did for my hair and scalp for my face. So I want to prep my face with MAC Prep and Prime, and then I'm using moisture cream and MAC oil control lotion. I love these products because they contain vitamins, minerals, green tea, and chamomile. Oh, this feels so good. The steam is actually melting down the product into my skin. To hydrate my lips, I'm using MAC lip conditioner, so if your lips are thirsty, you need this, okay? I'm using MAC NC42, which is the best match for my entire complexion. So I'm going to dab that on with, I believe I used a Beauty 360 beauty blender from CVS. Really an expensive beauty blender. You can find those anywhere, Walgreens, Target, Walmart. Just pick whichever's best for you. So I'm just going to continue dabbing that in and making sure that it's evenly distributed. To highlight, I've chosen MAC NC15. And basically, to highlight, you want to do right above your nose, about halfway, just before your temple area. You want to apply it underneath your eyes. You can do this on top of a concealer and also underneath the contour line on both cheeks and also underneath your nose, underneath your lips. And for the contour, I'm using Burnt Coral by MAC as well. It's Studio Conceal and Correct Duo Pen. And also you want to apply it just right above your temple and on the brim of your nose and on the side. And I get this a lot. Here's the part where it seems like we're putting on a little too much makeup, but each ingredient serves a purpose. And if you effectively blend it out, you won't be able to tell. It'll look light, it won't look heavy. The idea is that you create a natural looking makeup. And if you're successful in picking the right contouring and highlighting foundation, the change will be subtle. And if you still struggle with selecting your colors, visit the makeup counter before you purchase your product and they can assist you. They will apply the foundations to your arm or to your forehead to make sure that you make the right selection. Also be sure to contour your jawline because this adds a great transition from your face to your neck. It'll give it a great shadow here. And please be sure to blend, blend, blend. You can never blend too much. You want to continue to dab it on. And if you want to use a separate beauty blender, because you don't want to put the makeup, the contour makeup on top of the highlighting makeup or vice versa. So I've chose to use two different beauty blenders to keep the coloration separate. And please don't be afraid to use your fingers. I do that a lot. Sometimes the beauty blenders can't get into areas that you need it to. And then your fingers just help you feel your way through. Just smoothing out a little line of demarcation here on my nose. Again, using my finger to really smear it in. And as you can see, that contour line here. Let me go back in and put my concealer using the rich yellow concealer from my MAC Studio Correct and Conceal Duo Pen. I'm just going to dab that out. This really does wonders for dark circles. This concealer can also be used as a dual purpose to prime the eye. So I'm going to use the same concealer that I did underneath my eye to prep my eyeshadow. The eyeshadow that I've used to pull off this MACtacular look is the MAC X15 Warm Neutral Palette. With my angle brush, I've taken some Dance in the Dark. First, I want to use that to darken my eyebrows. So I'm using the MAC flat brush to assist me. I like to use my angle brush and eyeshadow to outline the top and the bottom of my eyebrow. And as you get closest to your nose, you want to go up and down. And towards the middle, the end, you go side to side. I chose to use a powder because I wanted my eyebrows to be a little on the lighter side. Sometimes when you use a pencil, it comes off too hard. If you're using a darker eyeshadow or eyebrow powder, you can actually wet your brush so that it'll go on a little deeper. And please don't get discouraged trying to perfect the perfect eyebrow. It does take practice, and you'll need to do this every day before you can master it. For accuracy, you can measure using your brush if you place it underneath your nose, and the distance between your nose and the end of your eyebrow should match. See what a wonderful difference that makes? And although I was blessed with long, thick hair, I was not blessed with thick eyebrows. So unfortunately, I have to create my own. And you can see the invisible line in between the eyebrows. If you have a pencil, you can actually draw the line straight across just to make sure the eyebrows are even, and then you can erase the lines above your nose. And don't worry if you don't get them perfectly even. You can always go back and adjust and use your concealer to correct any errors. Let's see. The inner corner of my left eyebrow is a little bit off. Again, I'm using my brush for balance. And I see that I need to readjust the arch on both eyebrows. Now, I think that arch looks good. Now it's time to clean it up. Using my NC20, I'm just going to trace the outer line of my eyebrows. Look how much sharper that looks. You want to follow the curvature of your eyebrow. And this angle brush really allows you to get in there. Once you've done that, then you can go back in and smear out that line of demarcation. See how this concealer acts as an eraser? I'm going to sharpen the inner corner of this eyebrow that I noticed earlier, following the curvature of the outline that I drew all the way to the edge, and smearing out that line of demarcation on this side as well. And for safety, I usually draw with the concealer a rectangular shape to connect the eyebrows, just to make sure that I've checked my work. And you also need to apply the highlighter there as well, so I'll smear that out. Just doing the same thing to the top of the eyebrow that I did at the bottom, tracing that outline. But you can see how the eyebrows are starting to pop, and this looks much better than what I had before. I'm a perfectionist and I strive for perfection when it comes to the eyebrows. I like to do the eyebrows first because I feel like it sets the tone for the makeup. And that is the worst thing, to have some uneven eyebrows. I'm not trying to have you shame yourself. Another important trick here, if you take the tip of the angle brush and just kind of dust it out, it'll give you more of a fade out. I want you to look at this before. She needed help. And the after. Much better. Now we can move on to the shadow. I've used the MAC Warm Neutral Palette, and I want to start out with Brulee. It is like a translucent powder, blends right into my natural skin tone. I want to apply that in a circular motion all the way throughout my entire eyelid, on both sides as well. See how that just disappears into my skin. What this actually does too is it also sets in the concealer that I use to prime my eye. With that same MAC 217 brush, I'm applying some vanilla extract in the same manner. These two shades mixed together will offer a good transition color. Adding a little Warm Breeze onto the eyelid as well. We're going to go darker in just a second. I know you can barely see it, but the colors are starting to transition. And as I lay them on top of each other, it'll help me to blend my final makeup. Going to add a little Creative Copper into my crease. This is the lightest of the darkest shades that I will deposit into my crease, using the windshield wiper movements or half moon movements. I'm adding some ginger snap just above my crease area. Using my MAC 228 brush, I'm adding some saddle into my crease. The 228 brush is good for when you're wanting to add a little bit more detail. Now I want to go in deeper with Dance in the Dark from that same MAC Warm Neutral palette, and kind of create my deeper crease line. This will be blended out. Going in on my left eye, doing the same thing. You want to mirror image what you did on the other eye. And once you've applied that color, don't stop there. Continue to blend, blend, blend. Just blend out. Just keep going back over the same area until you get rid of any lines of demarcation. So I'm picking back up my 217 brush because I want to really go in there and blend this crease line out. And watch that color disperse a little more onto the eyelid and a little bit above the crease line, blending it into the colors on top. And if you dab it into that corner of your eye and twist your brush, it'll really help deposit the color in. Using my circular motions to really blend even more. Back and forth, blend, blend, blend. Your brush can be used in different facets. I use it to twirl it in circles, and I find that it really penetrates that crease.